You know, there was a time when the Indianapolis Colts were the absolute standard for success in the NFL. During the 2000s, no team won more games than the Colts. And of course, that is in large part due to Peyton Manning being one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But of course, after his neck injury, he was released following the 2011 season. The Colts went 2-14 that season, and that allowed them to pick Andrew Luck with the number one overall pick. But a lot of that old core was let go, such as head coach Jim Caldwell, GM Bill Polian, Dwight Freeney, Dallas Clark, and so many others were let go to sort of turn the page from that very successful chapter. And sadly, none of the following chapters have been anywhere near as successful. Like I said, GM Bill Polian was let go, and for some reason he was replaced with arguably the worst GM in NFL history, Ryan Grigson. Grigson's inability to surround Andrew Luck with enough talent forced the Colts to rely far too heavily on his abilities, and that put way too much strain on Luck's body, and that led Luck to retire at just the age of 29. And ever since Luck's retirement, the Colts have been searching for who would be that next quarterback, whether it be Jacoby Brissett, the litany of one-year stopgaps from Phillip Rivers to Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan to now the number 4 overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, Anthony Richardson. However, due to Richardson's inability to stay healthy and his issues with accuracy, it looks like the Colts are in a make-or-break year for Richardson. Following the death of longtime owner Jim Irsay, it looks like his daughters are going to have to decide what direction they want to take this new Colts team in. And it's really a lot of it going to come down to, does Richardson finally develop and break out as a potential starter in this league? And where does a lot of the aging talent on this team, like a DeForest Buckner, like a Grover Stewart, like Quentin Nelson, where do they go moving forward? We've already seen a few departures in recent years, like former first-round pick center Ryan Kelly, who is now with the Minnesota Vikings. We've also seen some longtime guards and receivers depart, so it's going to be interesting to see where the Colts move on, and that is exactly why I am choosing my favorite team, the Colts, for our Madden franchise series here on SGO Gridiron. And we're going to be taking over with a brand new head coach here. There he is, head coach Brandon Satterwhite, who will be taking over this team. This is who the Colts will be putting their trust in to try and lead them back to relevance within the AFC South. We haven't won the division since 2014, so we definitely need to sort of get back to relevance. Now, this is going to be a bit of a different franchise series, and I'll get into it, but we're not actually going to be playing the game, so I'll get into how it's going to be formatted once we set up everything. But most of this is going to be left pretty much the same as base settings, nothing really too drastic of a change, I think. But how this series is going to work is every episode will be an entire season, including the off season. And we're not actually going to be playing the games. We're going to fully super sim the games, 15-minute quarters, and we'll hop into each game in super sim. And if any of our regular season or hopefully playoff games come down to the wire, then we'll watch. We won't actually control it. We'll watch it in super sim and see if our team ends up winning it that way. But that's how we're going to do this one. I wanted to do things a little bit differently from how I'm formatting the Houston Dynasty series in College Football 26. And this is kind of how I've been playing franchise and Dynasty in college football as well here recently. And I wanted to see if it would translate well into a YouTube series. So that's what we're going to try and check out first. But first things first, we do have an interview to go do. And in my experience, this interview has a lot of bearing on some of the abilities you get to start off with as a coach. Coach, big reason you were hired was your ability to develop talent and get the most out of players. What area will you focus on first? And that's definitely going to be developing the quarterback. We need to see if we can get Anthony Richardson to be an actual starting quarterback in this league, or if we need to go draft a new one. Shifting onto the field, which side of the ball will your identity shine through the most? Definitely on offense. Always been an offensive coach, working with the quarterbacks. And lastly, what will give you an advantage over other coaches in this league? I say scouting prospects. We want to be able to scout guys and hire as good of scouts as we can. And we also have a storyline for position battle. Curious who this is. And it's Tyler Warren, our first round draft pick. I definitely foresee him being our starting tight end. I don't see why he wouldn't be our starter at tight end. Also, right now, we can look at our offensive and defensive coordinator here. And I kind of want to fire them and see who is available, if there's any better coordinators. But I kind of don't want to do that because I feel like if we get, coaches that already have great abilities, then that's kind of cheating a little bit. But we do have 200 points to spend from the pre-order bonus, and we are going to use those. So we could upgrade scout squads. We could get extra tier 2 scouts, or I know there's an ability somewhere here where we can get more 3-star scouts, and that would be big, but we would be using up a ton of our franchise points, and I really want to I am going to upgrade this one with 30 to make it diamond, so we get 20% increased training XP with quarterbacks. I also am looking for another one. See if I can find it. So these two, I am going to purchase both of them. This one gives us additional focus players during the week, and then this one gives us improved XP boosts from the training camp mini camps. We're going to upgrade both of these as much as we can. And so we've got both of those up to gold tier. And then I'm going to spend my final 20 here on scout squad, so I'll be able to hire 3 tier 2 scouts, which will be big for us. So scouting and player development is sort of always been my focus in franchise mode. So that's how I'm going to role play my coach is, the quarterback whisperer, brings in the quarterback, gets the most out of them, develops them, makes them better, and also is able to find those guys in the draft that he wants to target. But that's all of our franchise points that we're able to spend for right now. We're going to hop in and do some of these training camp mini games, and I'll let you know how they go. All right, so Anthony Richardson gets a skill point in 2,500 XP. Jonathan Taylor also gets a skill point and 2,000 XP. And Josh Downs gets gold to get 2 skill points and 3,000 XP. That's big. Okay, so dumb thing by me, I forgot to go into weekly strategy and equip the ability that gives me the extra XP in the training camp minigames before I actually did them. So very stupid on my part. Looks like my offensive coordinator also has the quarterback upgrade ability, so that'll add an extra 5% because I do believe those stack. And since we're in the preseason, we're not doing any scouting yet, so we don't need to put in any of the scouting stuff yet until week 1. And then focus players, we've got Tyler Warren and JT Tiamawala, and then we're also going to have Anthony Richardson be one of the focus players. And then we'll go full pads with everyone until, we start seeing wear and tear, and then we'll adjust it how we need to. You probably won't see that just because you don't really need to see that too much, but I will keep y'all updated on any injuries that happen throughout the season and whatnot. Anthony Richardson has 2 upgrades. We're going to put both into field general because that should upgrade his accuracies, hopefully. Yeah, so those are some good accuracy upgrades. So hopefully that will get him a little bit better. As you can see, he's got 96 throw power, 91 speed. The medium and deep accuracy is where he really needs to work on, as well as his awareness, which will just come with more time. I mean, he's still just incredibly, incredibly young at this point in his career. Oof, and in the final preseason game, Jonathan Taylor dislocates his ankle, out for 7 to 11 weeks. Looking at our roster, the other running backs on the team aren't that great. We do have the rookie DJ Giddens out of Kansas State, but I'm probably going to need to go sign someone else. Ooh, Ed Oliver is here. I guess he got cut by the Bills. He's only 27, 82 overall. That is an easy sign, because that'll make it easier for me to move on from either Buckner or Grover Stewart this season. Here's our running back options. Nothing great. There's Ezekiel Elliott, A.J. Dillon. There's some other rookies here that are practice squad eligible. And there's a few that are on practice squads. I may go see if I can trade for a running back. So looking at the trade block, there's quite a few good running backs here. Like there's Rashad White from the Buccaneers. I guess they're willing to get rid of him because they have Bucky Irving. But he's got pretty good speed, good juke move. 26, star dev. I mean, he'd get some good running. Let's see what they want. They want, quite a bit for him. I don't know if I want to give up that much. There's also Zach Charbonnet here, who I think would be a pretty good addition. See if I can get away with it. Let's do a 4th this year and a 5th next year. Does that get him? No. That might do it. Oh, there is just the slightest bit missing. If I do 4th next year. All right, we've got our backup running back, finally, who will start in the absence of one Jonathan Taylor. So now it's time for cut day. Daniel Jones will stay on as the backup to Anthony Richardson. Riley Leonard will go to the practice squad. We're basically going to have to keep all of our running backs, except for this guy. He can go. Got a lot of receivers we can move on from. Laquan Treadwell. Almost forgot about him. All right, so here we are, week 1. We're going to go into weekly strategy. Actually not able to swap these out at the moment. So we'll just have to hire regular scouts for right now, I guess. I am going to swap out our center for Zach Charbonnet to see if he develops a little bit better while Taylor is out. Also going to be very careful with the running backs in terms of wear and tear. Going into week 1, Jonathan Taylor and Danny Pinter are out. No one on the defense is out, thankfully. We're going to go ahead and set up our scouts here. We weren't able to equip the abilities yet to hire the better scout, so it'll just have to be like normal, national, tackle, quarterback, but I don't really want to go quarterback because I can just do focus scouting for them. So tackle and wide receiver is what I'm looking for with my 3-star. I don't think there'll be one that has both of those. Yeah, so I think tackle is a much bigger need for us because we have quite a few receivers that we really like, so we're just going to put a guy that can do tackles there. We're going to go ahead and set up the rest of these. All right, here we go. Going into our first. Here's what the team looks like going into season 1. We're going to have Josh Downs be our number 1 receiver. Richardson is starting for us. Jones is the backup. Charbonnet and Herbert will be the running backs while Taylor is injured. Tyler Warren is going to be starting for us at tight end. That interior offensive line, center and right guard, do not look very good at all. And then here's what the defense looks like. And I think actually I'm going to move Latu to right edge and have him play over Kwity Paye and then try to trade Kwity at the trade deadline. Let's go ahead and hop into our first game of Colts franchise season 1. Again, we're going to be super simming these games, and we'll hop in and watch the endings if they are close. All right, we're down by 1. We have the ball at our own 45-yard line. We're coming up on the 2-minute warning here. Richardson back to throw on first down, and he's going down, sacked on the play. Not how you want to start this possibly game-ending drive there. Big sack on Richardson, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Dolphins are leading us 24-23 here at home. You got to figure you're in 4-down territory here, so you got to try to aim for about the 50 at the very least. Richardson back to throw. 4-man rush from the Dolphins. Richardson rolling out right. Going to throw down the field, and it's tipped. Overthrown there, and now we've got 4th and 12 coming up. Richardson back to throw now. 4th and 12. Firing down the right sideline, and it's intercepted. Was looking for Adonai Mitchell. He was in double coverage. Now, the Colts do still have all 3 timeouts, so there is a chance that we get the ball back here. All right, 1st and 10 here for the Dolphins as they take over after the turnover. They're just going to hand it off, and we're going to stop Achane there for no gain. Timeout quickly, minute 40 remaining. Now to play action, going to throw quickly to the flat, and he's got a man, and he'll get knocked out of bounds. No, he doesn't get knocked out of bounds, so we have to call a timeout. Kwity Paye actually is injured. So it'll be a fresh set of downs, and that's going to just about do it here for this one. Dolphins probably going to start 1-0, and we will fall to 0-1. And we do fall to 0-1 to start the season, as I guess it didn't let me look at the box score for that one. Got quite a few upgrades for guys there. All right, so we lost game 1, but it was a 1-point loss. You know, I don't think it was a terrible loss. We let them run for 114 on us. But, I mean, it was a close game. We did have the 2 interceptions. Tua, we sacked him 4 times. He didn't have any touchdowns on the day. Von Achan just ran all over us. Zach Charbonnet did not have a good first game as a Colt. Tyreek Hill had over 100 yards receiving. Josh Downs had a pretty good game, 7 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown. Grover Stewart had a sack, JT had a sack, Pay had a sack, and then Carlos and Buckner combined for a sack, and then Nick Cross had our 1 interception on the day. Now moving on to week 2. So along with Jonathan Taylor being out, Alec Pierce is going to be out for this game, as is Jalen Travis. So some big injuries on offense. Thankfully, the defense remains healthy. All right, week 2 at home against the Broncos. Let's see how this one goes. Game 2, not particularly close. We get blown out at home at 31-10 against the Broncos. Richardson, again, not a good game. 14 for 26, 159 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. Charbonnet, again, 20 carries, only 54 yards on the ground. He was our top receiver somehow. Pittman had 54 yards receiving. 2 sacks for DeForest Buckner, 1 for Kwity Paye, and 1 for JT. And then an interception for Cameron Bynum. But a couple of bad games to start the year for Anthony Richardson. All right, week 3 now. We've got players ready to negotiate. We have $67 million in cap space. And we've got quite a few guys that need to be re-signed. I'm not sure if we're going to bring back Kwity Paye. Well, actually, for an edge rusher, that's not bad. If we can get that for like 4 or 5 seasons, bump that up just a little bit, like that's not bad for an edge rusher. And he has had a pretty good start to the season. Alec Pierce, I'd like to bring back as a 3rd receiver. I think that's a pretty good offer for him. We'll bump it up just a little bit. He's still not willing to budge. Ed Oliver, I definitely would like to have long-term. Thing is, none of these guys want to be here because we're a brand new head coach. But Ed Oliver accepted that one, so we're going to have him back. So at the very least, we'll have a successor to Stewart and Buckner. Braden Smith's 29, but he's a really good tackle. I'll lock him down for 3 years. He's not ready to sign either. A lot of these guys don't want to sign here yet. Nick Cross is only 23. He's a 77 overall. I definitely want to lock him down long term. Even if we find someone better eventually, he'll be good depth. I signed Ricky Stromberg, the former Arkansas offensive lineman, out of free agency before the season started. He'll be good depth. We'll sign him to a long-term deal. I think everyone else can basically wait until the off-season to decide. We'll look at regression, and then we'll also have to decide on Anthony Richardson's 5th-year option. All right, week 3 on the road against Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. Let's see if we can get our first win of the season against a conference rival. All right, here we go. Less than 2 minutes remaining. We're down by 4 here. We had the lead for the majority of this game, but Tennessee went down the field and scored. And now we've got a great throw there by Richardson to Tyler Warren to start off this drive, as we're going to call a timeout there with 1:40 remaining. 4th catch of the game for the rookie Tyler Warren. Richardson back to throw, throwing quickly over the middle, and it's nearly intercepted. That was almost a great play. Oh, got lucky there, Richardson. You can't be doing that in year 3. All right, 2nd and 10, Downs in motion here. Play action, going to throw to Downs here, and he's going to get upfield inside the 45 to the 42. It'll be another first down as we call another timeout. 1:32 remaining. We have 1 timeout left here. Richardson in the gun. He'll drop to throw. 4-man rush throwing over the middle, and he's got his man, Michael Pittman, all the way down to the 25-yard line. Colts will go no huddle here. From the 27, 1st and 10, Richardson back to throw. Has time, now throws down the left side, and it's knocked away incomplete. He was looking for Mo Alley Cox there. Now Richardson in the gun here, 2nd down, looking to throw, stepping up. He's going to take off running inside the 20, and he'll get down inside the 15 to the 12. And that's where the Colts will have it 1st and 10. A nice scramble there by Anthony Richardson. Under a minute to go here as the Colts go 5 wide. Look at all that space over the middle for Richardson to throw, but he's not going to get rid of it in time. Sebastian Joseph Day comes in and brings Richardson down for the sack. A loss of 6 there will push him back to the 18-yard line as the Colts call their final timeout with 46 seconds remaining. I hate the CPU's timeout logic in this game. It needs so much work. It's been so bad for so long. All right, Richardson, 2nd and 16. He'll drop to throw, throwing to Taylor out of the backfield, and he'll get about 5 yards there, but stopped in bounds. Clock is running. 40 seconds left here. We've got to hurry up to the line. Trips to the left here for Richardson, dropping to throw, throwing quickly towards the end zone. Pittman, and he's not able to haul it in one-on-one, incomplete. And that'll bring up a 4th down, 4th and 12 here for the Colts. AR in the gun here. Here's the lone receiver to the top. Now Richardson nowhere to go, and he's going down, sacked. You've got to get rid of that ball, Richardson. And that's going to do it. We're going to lose this one. So 2 more injuries here. Zach Charbonnet, who we traded for to replace Jonathan Taylor, he's going to be out for 3 to 5 weeks. And then DeForest Buckner is going to be out 4 to 8 weeks with a broken toe. That really hurts because I did plan on trading him at the trade deadline, but now it looks like we will definitely be moving Grover Stewart since we're going to be stuck with Buckner most likely past the trade deadline. We've got a text here from the assistant GM. It looks like our approval with him has decreased after we guaranteed we would win that Titans game. It better happen again just after we string so many wins together that I stop hearing this rebuild word tossed around. Yeah, well, I mean, if you're the GM of the Colts, you kind of understand you're still in a rebuild at this point. At least you should. So going into the next game, Khalil Herbert also got an injury in practice, so our top 3 running backs are all out. We also lost Mo Alley-Cox and Braden Smith. So a host of injuries. We have any running backs right now? All right, so these 3 guys are all injured. So we have Tyler Goodson and DJ Giddens. Do we have any on the practice squad we can bring up? I don't think we do, so we may just go into free agency. Actually, you know what I should have done? I should put Jonathan Taylor on injured reserve so I can free up a roster spot. And I can probably do the same thing with DeForest Buckner to free up a roster spot while he's injured as well. I think we're going to sign Jerome Ford. I've always liked him. He should be a good stopgap until my other guys get back, at least for this one game. But good grief, how are all of my running backs getting hurt? So Kwity Paye is coming back. We got him to sign to a very cheap deal for an edge rusher. We'll see if we can get Alec Pierce back. We bump this up just a little bit more. He still doesn't want to sign. He may end up getting traded, honestly, at this point. Same thing with Braden Smith, if he doesn't want to come back. Actually, Braden Smith, we upped it just a little bit more, and he signed, so that's good. We're down to only 16 mil cap room for next year, though. So things are definitely going to get rough soon. But 0-3 going up against the Rams in Los Angeles, so we'll have a ton of Colts fans there. And so hopefully we can finally get a dub. All right, week 4 wasn't even close. 21-10, we lose this one in Los Angeles. Richardson, 24 for 38, 239 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks, though. He also had 42 rushing yards. Jerome Ford, 17 carries for 47 yards. We just really weren't able to do much. Josh Downs had over 100 receiving yards. Tyler Warren had himself a touchdown. Grover Stewart had a sack, and then Latu and Oliver combined for 1. No interceptions from the defense, sadly. Another new injury here is backup tight end Mo Alley-Cox is going to be out 1 to 3 weeks. All right, week 5 going up against the 78 overall Raiders, one of the worst rated teams in the game. Maybe we will finally get our first win of the season here. Now we have officially dropped to 0-5 to start the year. Richardson threw for under 200 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Ran for 28 yards. Herbert and Ford each had rushing touchdowns. Josh Downs only had 1 catch for 32 yards. It was a touchdown, though. 1.5 sacks for Ed Oliver and a half a sack for Cameron Bynum. And just an awful start to the season. Like, it would be okay if, like, Richardson was playing good and developing and getting better. But at this point, it's just, like, I don't see any chance we bring him back next year. All right, mock draft 1 is out, and we are projected to take Kyrie Armstead, a quarterback out of Auburn, with the number 3 overall pick. He looks like a very strong-arm quarterback, but not very mobile. We haven't scouted him much yet. We'll see. There's also another guy here from Oklahoma State, Deion Yancey, who's projected to go top 5 to the Jets. There's another quarterback here projected to go to the Seahawks. So we'll definitely be scouting some quarterbacks, especially with Richardson's current performance. But let's see if we can finally get ourselves a win here against the Cardinals at home. Again, another team that we are very much a higher rating than, but it'll be interesting to see if we can actually compete with them. We are now 0-6 on the year after a loss to the Cardinals. Again, another 1 touchdown, 1 interception performance for Anthony Richardson. He's not even running for touchdowns, so I don't know what the deal is. Josh Downs has over 100 yards again with another touchdown. He's the lone bright spot of that offense. A sack for Latu and Oliver there. But 24-14, we lose to the Arizona Cardinals. We're 0-6. This is, oh boy, what a start to the series. Now Ed Oliver's hurt. He's going to be out 4 to 8 weeks with some knee cartilage tear, which is just great. All right, going into week 7, we're 0-6, going up against the Chargers. We have 4 of our best players on injured reserve right now. We are last place, the last winless team in the AFC. And we've just been awful this year, but maybe somehow we'll find a way to turn it around here in Los Angeles against the Chargers. Another team that we're higher rated than, but I'm sure we'll still find a way to get blown out. All right, we finally got our first win. It really wasn't this close. The Chargers scored a couple of garbage time touchdowns right at the end, but we end up winning it 35-32. We are 1-6 now on the year. We beat an actually decent team, and it skipped me right past the end screen there. AR was 13 for 20, 192 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Charbonnet had a good comeback, 17 carries, 85 yards and a touchdown. Anthony Richardson had a rushing touchdown on the day. Josh Downs played pretty well. Tyler Warren had a receiving touchdown. Had an interception for Jalen Carleys, and then a sack for Latu. So finally got us a dub. It's about dadgum time. All right, we're here at week 8. Being 1-6, I think it is time to start making some trades. Starting with this wide receiver that does not seem to want to be here. He doesn't want to re-sign here. Alec Pierce. Now, he hasn't really done much this year. He only has 15 catches, still has no touchdowns. So he hasn't really gotten involved that much anyways. So I don't think there's much harm in trying to trade him. I do like him in real life. I think he's a really good player. I think he's going to be a great receiver for the Colts. 93 speed at 6'3". In real life, he's awesome. In simulation, he just hasn't really done much. So we're going to see what we can get back for him. We could get Marvin Mims, who's a very good receiver, a couple of years younger. We're going to trade Alec Pierce to the Patriots, along with a 6th-round pick this year to get their 2nd-round pick this year. So that is a big get for us. We'll see if anyone wants Khalil Herbert. I mean, he's young, star dev. I don't see anyone really wanting him for that much. I mean, here's a couple of picks. I'll take this and a little bit of offensive line depth, which we could always use. Samuel Womack, 77 overall corner. Might be worth a little something to someone. We're going to trade the corner, Samuel Womack III, along with a 5th-round pick to the Packers for their 2nd-round pick this year. That's 2 more 2nd-round picks we've picked up so far this year. So looking here, we've got Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner's making almost double what Stewart is. I don't think I'm allowed to trade him while he's on injured reserve. No, I can't. I can't trade him. He's still week to week, so maybe we get him back next week, and then we trade him, because I don't think the trade deadline is until next week. Let's see what offers we can get for Stewart, though. If it comes down to Buckner or Stewart, I'm definitely trading Buckner, but they're offering me something good for Stewart as well. I mean, oof, here's some good ones here. Some 2nd-rounders. I could probably get a 1st-rounder or 2. There's Jerry Jeudy from the Browns. George Karlaftis from the Chiefs, plus a 3rd-round pick next year. Marshawn Lattimore. We could get Alec Pierce back. Okay, big trade. We traded Grover Stewart, our 2nd and 3rd this year, our 2nd next year, and our 5th next year, and a 3rd in 2028 for both of the Browns' 1st-round picks this year. So that's 2 extra 1st-round picks we have now for this year. So now we have 3 picks in this year's draft. We have our 1st, Cleveland's 1st, and Jacksonville's 1st. And we have our 2nd and the 2nd from New England. So one of the 2nd we traded away was another team 2nd. And then we also have 2 7s. Next year we'll have a 1st, a 3rd, 2 6th, and a 7th. And then in 2028 we'll have everything but our 3rd-round pick. So we've got 5 picks within the first 50 picks. Hopefully. So I think we're sitting pretty good in terms of draft capital. Like, that is going to be big for us to really bring in some youth and, you know, get a new generation of Colts in here. But we're 1-6 here. We're going to be taking on Tennessee in week 8. Let's hop in and see how we do here. At this point, I'm kind of hoping for losses. I'll be honest. I want us to tank. I want us to get the number 1 pick. I want us to draft a new quarterback and just kind of move on and hit the reset button. All right, final 2 minutes here. We're up by 6, but the Titans have it 1st and goal here. Cam Ward in the gun. He'll drop to throw, has time, stepping up, going to look over the middle, and it's nearly intercepted there. Almost a great play there to seal this win. Instead, it'll be 2nd and goal. Now Ward in the gun here. He'll drop to throw. Has time now, rolling out right, and he's going down. Sacked on the play. It's JT Tuimawalu, who has had a phenomenal rookie season, getting yet another sack. That puts him back all the way at the 17. It's going to be 3rd and goal. And look how far off our guy's playing right here. Watch that matchup at the top of the screen. Man in motion here as Ward's back to throw. Looking over the middle, and he's going to find his man Ridley down at the 7-yard line. It'll be 4th and goal coming up here for the Titans. Final opportunity for him here. Man in motion. Ward back to throw. We bring pressure, lobbing it up into the left side, and it's going to be caught. Caught in the end zone. Our guy just got mossed by the grandpa Tyler Lockett. And the Titans are an extra point away from taking the lead here. Just a beautiful ball thrown up, and Lockett with great positioning goes up and grabs it. And our guy just not able to knock it out of his hands. Extra point here to give Tennessee the lead. It is up, and it is good. And so with 40 seconds left, it is now 31-30. The Titans lead it after the Colts led for the majority of this game. We'll have to see if Anthony Richardson can lead a game-winning drive here late. So 1st and 10 from our own 24-yard line. Pittman, watch this matchup here at the top. A lot of room there for him. Instead, Richardson goes quickly to Mitchell underneath for a gain of about 4. Colts forced to call a timeout. Richardson's had a great game. 335 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Hoping he can get the win here. 31 seconds and 2 timeouts. He drops to throw. Throwing over the middle. He's going to have his man. It's Josh Downs all the way up to the 45. We'll call timeout with 26 seconds left. 5 wide for the Colts here. 1st and 10. Richardson in the gun. 3-man rush for the Titans. Richardson all day looking down the left sideline. He's got his tight end Warren, and he can't hang on. Had it and dropped it. The contact knocks it loose. And it'll be 2nd down now. 21 seconds remaining. Colts need to get to about the 40-yard line of Tennessee to have a shot at a field goal here. Richardson back to throw. Has time all day back there to throw. Now under pressure, and he's going down. Sacked. When you have all day like that, you can't... Oh my gosh, you can't take a sack there. 3rd and 16. Colts were forced to call their final timeout. Throwing into coverage. It's knocked away. And it's going to be 4th and 16. It was going so well. And now, all of a sudden... 4th down, final chance here for the Colts. Richardson all day back there, looking now, just throws it, and it's hit as he throws. It's intercepted, and that is the game, folks. Like I said, Richardson had a really good game, but I mean, Cam Ward, 4 touchdowns, 280 yards, no picks. Charbonnet had a good game on the ground, over 4 yards a carry. Josh Downs, 7 catches, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyler Warren, 7 catches, 127 yards. Adonai Mitchell, 6 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown. A sack from JT was our only one on the day. No interceptions by the defense, but man, another tough loss. But I mean, at this point, we're kind of punting on season 1 here. All right, so sadly, DeForest Buckner, I don't think I'm able to bring him back yet. Let me see if I can. It'd be nice. No, I still can't bring him back from injured reserve, but he is getting close to being back. So hopefully he'll be back soon. But I think week 9 is the trade deadline, if I'm correct. So I don't think we'll be able to trade him this year. We'll have to wait till next year. But going up against the Steelers on the road, and we drop another one to the Steelers, 31-20. Rodgers threw for 314 yards and 2 touchdowns. Richardson, 167 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick on the day. He did rush for 50 yards, but the offense just was not good today. All right, now time for week 10 against the 5-3 Falcons at home. All right, so minute 22 left. We're down 27-23 here at home against the Falcons. We'll see if Richardson has what it takes to lead us back down the field, and he's hit immediately. Devin Bush comes in to get the sack. A loss of 6 there. The Colts do have all 3 timeouts as they'll hurry up to the line here. Richardson back to throw, throwing quickly to the right side, and he's got his man. It's Adonai Mitchell, and he's on a footways towards the end zone. They're not going to catch him. He'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Colts, and they're going to take the lead right back with just over a minute remaining here. What a throw and what a run by the former Texas receiver who's gotten a lot of playing time following the trade of Alec Pierce. just got some open space there, and there was no deep safety, and he just turned on the Jets and took it all the way. Kickoff is away. It'll be returned from about the 6, and he's going down near the 28, so that's where the Falcons will come with all 3 timeouts, as Michael Penix looks to lead them down to at least get a game-time field goal, if not take the lead with a touchdown here. He's in the pistol here. 1st and 10, he'll drop to throw. Stepping up, going to sidearm it towards the left side into double coverage. He was looking for London. Knocked away, incomplete. As you take a look there at Younghoe Koo's target areas around the 41-yard line. Now 2nd and 10 here for Penix in the gun. Play action to Robinson. Throwing to Robinson after the play action, and he'll pick up only about 4 yards. Atlanta forced to call a timeout there with 50 seconds remaining. Penix drops to throw. 3rd and 6, throwing over the middle, and he's got his man. And he'll get all the way down to about the 42-yard line as the Falcons will call another timeout there. Kenny Moore in on the tackle. Trips to the right here for Penix as it's 5 wide, throwing quickly to Drake London on a hitch. He'll get up to about the 49, hit hard there. As the Falcons call their final timeout with 40 seconds remaining. They're about 10 yards away from what they're wanting to get to. Penix up to throw. Now taking off running. He'll get down to about the 42-yard line, which is right around where Koo's target area is. 30 seconds and counting here as the clock is ticking. Penix going to get everyone back and spike it here with 26 seconds remaining. No timeouts for the Falcons, so you're probably just looking for something quick here, and you could definitely get it here with all this space here on the tight side. Penix looking to throw, now going to throw to the left side over the middle, and Darnell Mooney can't hang on. It falls incomplete, so 3rd and 10 here. And once again, the Colts playing way off these Falcons receivers when they just need probably about another 5 yards, as Penix is going down, sacked on the play, and it is 4th down. They can't clock it. They can't run their field goal team out because now you've lost yardage. So now you've got to go for the 1st down here. 4th and 13. Penix throwing underneath. It's Drake London, and he's brought down. And that's going to be the game. That is it. Horrible clock mismanagement there by Atlanta. And they will drop this one in Indianapolis to the Colts. They were in field goal range, but a huge sack there allows Indianapolis to escape with just their 2nd win of the year, and you see Penix disappointed in himself. But I mean, if you're the coach of the Falcons, you've got to know and manage those timeouts better there. And another game that was actually a pretty good one for Richardson. 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He also had 40 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown, 60 yards on the ground for Charbonnet. Adonai Mitchell, man, 6 catches, 162 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, moving Alec Pierce might have been the move because now Adonai Mitchell gets to have this breakout here in the 2nd half of the season. We had sacks from Isaiah Land, JT, Neville Gallimore, and Kwity Paye. No interceptions on the day, but 2nd win of the season, and hopefully that's not the last one. As long as we get the number 1 pick, I'm happy. As long as we don't ruin the tank here. After that game, we now have 7 guys on injured reserve, including 4 of our defensive tackles, our star running back, our Sam linebacker, and our starting center. Tyquan Lewis is also going to be out for a few weeks here, so we have just been hit hard by the injury bug. I'm probably going to have to go to our practice squad and sign some guys. Like Tim Smith's probably going to get signed up from the practice squad. We're probably going to have to sign some D tackles from free agency just because, I mean, it's going to be rough just to get to the end of the season here. We do have a bye week here, so hopefully that helps us get some guys back here for the back part of the season. I'm not sure if the ability to bring someone back from IR is busted, but like Jonathan Taylor and DeForest Buckner have both just been showing week to week this entire time, so I don't know if that is just busted again, but I may not be able to bring any of my IR guys back this year, which would be really rough. All right, now this should be fun, going up against the Chiefs on the road at Arrowhead. We lose this one. It's another close one, 38-35 we lose. Richardson was perfectly fine, 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. He also had himself a rushing touchdown. Warren had another really good game. Josh Downs had a good game. Charbonnet had a great game out of the backfield. Adonai Mitchell gets another touchdown. A sack for Tim Smith, a rookie D tackle who we just signed and is now also injured. Of course he is, because everyone on this team gets freaking injured. It's like all my guys here are showing no injury, but they're showing week to week so they're not able to return for some reason. So I guess bringing guys back from injured reserve is just busted this year, and you should just not put guys on injured reserve if you want to bring them back later in the year, I guess. So with those guys not coming back from injured reserve likely this year, and with us being 2-9, I think it is time to go ahead and just go to the end of the season. I will hop in if anything interesting happens. I don't foresee that happening, but we're just going to go ahead and go to the end of the season, and I'll see y'all there. So we were 2-9 when I simulated. We finished 5-12, so we went 3-3 over our last 6 games. If you look at our offensive rankings there, we were, top half of the league in points per game, yards per game, passing yards and rushing yards per game. Our defense was terrible, though. Second to last in points per game, last in passing yards per game, so we're definitely going to need a new defensive coordinator. Stats for Season 1 here. Anthony Richardson finished 10th in the league in passing yards, 3,800 yards. He had 21 touchdowns to 14 picks, a 67% completion percentage. He also ran for 560 yards with 7 touchdowns. Zach Charbonnet was our leading runner with 769 yards and 10 touchdowns. Jerome Ford had 293 yards and 6 touchdowns on the year. Josh Downs was our leading receiver, 73 catches, 1,063 yards and 12 touchdowns. Tyler Warren, 77 catches, 851 yards, 3 touchdowns for the rookie. Michael Pittman, 60 catches, 775 yards, and 1 touchdown. Adonai Mitchell, 41 catches, 626 yards, 4 touchdowns on the year. Jalen Carlos led us with 115 tackles on the year. We had 9 TFLs for Latu, 7 for JT. JT also led us with 7 sacks on the year. Latu had 4. Buckner had 3.5. Woody Pay had 3. Ed Oliver had 3. Tyquan Lewis had 2.5. And then 4 interceptions for Travarius Ward, 2 for Jalen Carlos. And then Spencer Schrader, 21 for 23 on field goals with a long of 54, and then 46 for 47 on extra points. So it looks like we're going to have the Packers and the Bills in the Super Bowl. We do have some draft stories over there. Brandon Berry, tight end from Oklahoma State, it says he's dominant in press scouts at the All-Star game this week. Let's check out the yearly awards here. Joe Burrow wins MVP because, of course, he does. He always does. Kyle Shanahan wins Coach of the Year with the 49ers. Tyler Warren finishes 5th for AFC Rookie of the Year. And then JT finished 3rd for AFC Defensive Rookie of the Year. And then Travarius Ward finished 2nd for AFC Defensive Back of the Year to only Patrick Surtain. So the Packers and Jordan Love get their 5th Super Bowl title, defeating Josh Allen and the Bills 35-29 in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow got MVP, like we said. Devontae Smith got Offensive Player of the Year. TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year. Matthew Golden of the Packers got Rookie of the Year. And then Jahad Campbell of the Eagles got Defensive Rookie of the Year. Mo Alley Cox does retire, so we won't have him on the team anymore. And we are going to fire Marlon Burgess, our defensive coordinator. So now we need to go hire a new one. Shane Steichen is here, who we replaced. Kevin Stefanski is here. Brian Dable's here. Dave Canales is here. Honestly, I think Kevin Stefanski would be a good one. Probably has quite a few abilities. Let's go see what abilities he has. He's got a lot of offensive abilities. Oh, so he's an offensive coach. I forgot. So he's not a good defensive coach, so we need a good defensive coordinator. Okay, so I didn't realize you could see their abilities here before you hire them. So Emmanuel Ortega has quite a few defensive abilities. He also has some good development ones as well. There's a lot of offensive abilities for some of these guys. Ooh, this guy's got a lot of really good defensive abilities. So does this guy. But the thing for me is I want the development ones. I think we're going to hire Emmanuel Ortega because despite not having the best gameplay abilities, he does have better player development abilities already, and that'll make it easier to upgrade those. Let's go ahead and upgrade some abilities here, because we do have quite a few points to use here after the season. It doesn't look like anyone went up in dev trait here on the offense, and then on defense, yeah, it's the same. So no one went up in dev trait anywhere, it looks like. I guess now we just move forward and get ready for the draft. Well, we also need to re-sign guys, so let's take a look. We only have $6 million in cap room. Okay, I could save $19 million if I cut Michael Pittman. He did have a pretty rough season. I could also save a ton of money by cutting DeForest Buckner as well. And also $6 million for this guy. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to start cutting guys Buckner, we may try to trade. We may hang on to to Buckner and try to trade him during the draft. But everyone else, I think we're going to move on from and try to free up some space to either re-sign a couple of guys or go to free agency and bring in some help. Then we're also going to try and restructure a few contracts here if we can. So now we're sitting at 48 mil. We're going to reject the 5th-year option for Anthony Richardson. I don't think we need Jerome Ford back. And honestly, I don't know if we want any of these guys back. We may just let them all walk and then go to free agency and see if we can improve the team in any way that way. We will bring back Spencer Schrader because he was really good as our kicker this year. Oh, well, he's just going to go to free agency. Okay, well, never mind then. Okay. Let's go to free agency and see what we can do, I guess. So we do have some combine results, so I do want to look and see. So guard Vaughn Green from Boise State, we want to add him to our board. Usually if there's a story about them that's good, I try to at least add them to the board to at least take a look at them at some point. Now, if it's bad, I don't. All right, let's see what we got here. There's Aiden Hutchison. Oh, that would be a fun one to grab. Here's Daniel Jones. We could probably bring in like a Mason Rudolph as a backup for whoever we're going to have next year at quarterback. So the biggest areas we need to improve, by the way, Anthony Richardson went all the way up to an 81 overall. And his accuracy has improved quite a bit. He's got 85 deep accuracy, 86 medium, and 87 short accuracy. He still has the 91 speed. He's got 69 or 70 awareness now. He's the 18th best quarterback in the league. Do we keep going with him? We already declined the 5th-year option. We'll see what we can find in the draft. But right now, what we're looking for is a receiver, or probably a number 2 receiver, center and guard, and linebacker or safety. Wide receiver, Michael Pittman does not want to come back after we cut him. Makes sense. There is Christian Watson here, who's 6'4" with 96 speed. I really like him a lot. If we can throw a 3-year deal at him, 33 mil, he might bite on that, hopefully. Darren Waller could be a decent 1-year guy. 7 mil, I don't really want to spend that on him, especially when we have other needs like, Tyler Linderbaum. We could bring back Ryan Kelly. He's 33. If we can bring Linderbaum in on a very player-friendly deal, that would be huge. The Raiders, I think, are going to outbid us. 5 years, 100 mil for the 26-year-old safety. I don't think we're going to get him. So I'm also going to throw money at Ryan Kelly for 1 year, see if he wants to come back. And we also need a guard. See if we can throw Will Hernandez a 1-year deal. Actually, we're out of cap space, almost. So I guess we need to check and see if any of our targeted guys end up coming here. The 3 of them have decided. We got Ryan Kelly and Mason Rudolph. We didn't get Tyler Linderbaum. Now we are up to 22 mil in cap space, so we can go after a Will Hernandez 1-year deal. So the first phase of free agency, we brought in Ryan Kelly and Will Hernandez. Those are big upgrades for the offensive line. Mason Rudolph will replace Daniel Jones as the backup to whoever our quarterback is next year. We still have Christian Watson waiting to decide. The 5th mock draft is here, and we have the number 1 and the number 2 pick and the number 5 pick. So we have 3 of the top 5 picks thanks to the trades we made. Ooh, we're going to get some guys. We just need to make sure we get the top guys, and we can trade those picks if we want to for more picks or for players. Ooh, those trades I made there. The Grover Stewart trade to Cleveland. Cleveland once again making awful trades. Hey, this is payback for the Trent Richardson trade, okay? I don't want to freaking hear it. I'm going to throw a cheap deal at Treylon Burks, former Razorback legend, Woo Pig. Maybe he can turn his career around here with us, and he is going to come here, so there's a little bit of depth there. All right, so this is how we are going to finish off episode 1 is with the 2025 NFL Draft. But before we go into it, let's take a look at our picks here. So we have the first pick from Cleveland. Our pick is the 2nd pick, and then Jacksonville, which we got from Cleveland, is number 5. We have the 34 pick, which is ours. We have the 48 pick from New England. So 5 of the first 48 picks are ours. I am going to field offers for the number 1 overall pick. Now, if we look at our guys, the only guy that we found that is top 5 is this Ryan Hoskins. Now, this looks like that amazing, very high overall type, strong safety archetype, very high hit power, not a great athlete, but has very high ratings. Now, he's not supposed to go until the mid first round. Now, for quarterbacks, we have two guys that we found that are round one talents. We've got Brendan Nash and Deion Yancey. Yancey's the guy I want. He's supposed to go at 10 to the Rams, according to the mock draft. He has elite strength, elite throw power. His speed is marginal, but I mean, if you look at his 40-yard dash at the combine and his pro day, is actually not bad. A awareness, A break stack, A stamina, B deep accuracy, A medium, A short accuracy. He has a strong arm archetype out of Oklahoma State, so he's going to be the guy we take to compete with Richardson. So those are going to be two of our top picks. Now, we can trade out of both 1 and 2 and still get both of those guys. So that's probably what we're going to do. And then we have plenty of guys that we found that are definite round one. We have this D tackle that's a definite round one talent. And I would like to bring him in. He looks like a heck of an athlete. A power moves, A play rec, A pursuit, B finesse moves, B block shed, B tackle. He looks like a stud. Now the question becomes with, some of these other guys that we found that are really, really good, like this Mike linebacker, Derek Harding, insane athlete, B man coverage, B play rec, B to C zone, B to C tackle. He looks great. The question is just going to be like who's still there later on in this draft and how many picks can we get in this draft. Now, Chip Rathman is a edge rusher, power rusher who looks really, really good. The thing is I already have plenty of edge rushers in Kwity Paye, Latu, and JT. I'm not sure I really need him. Running backs, some of these guys look pretty good. Do I really need a running back? Jonathan Taylor is getting a bit older, but I don't think we really need to draft one yet. Receiver, there's quite a few good receivers here and good tight ends that we could probably take later on down the board. A lot of round 1 to 2 talents at tackle. This guard here, Allen Neal, looks really good. He could be a very high overall, I think. A pass block, A to C pass block finesse, A to C pass block power, A awareness. He could be very good. Some good centers here that could be available down the board, hopefully. There's this other D tackle that's not supposed to go until day 3. He's a round 1 talent. Very, very good elite strength guy. Hopefully we can pick him up later on. And then there's a lot of these linebackers, especially on round 2 to 3, day 3 guys that I think we could take a look at. This corner looks really good, Juwan Lucas. His speed's not great, but he's got A man, A press, A catching, B block shed, B zone, B to C awareness. Not sure when he's supposed to go. So Juwan Lucas is supposed to go 11. So I think I definitely want to have picks in like the 7, 8, 9 range in order to get both Deion Yancey and Juwan Lucas. And then I will need to make sure I have a pick before 22 to get Ryan Hoskins. So those are the 3 guys I want in the first round. And then we'll see what we can do in the second round with whatever we pick up. But before we even enter the draft, I'm going to start trying to trade these picks. Oh, so we could get Trey Hendrickson, a first round pick next year, a second this year, and 2 7ths. So we could get one of the best edge rushers in the entire league. We could get Trey McBride, a superstar X Factor tight end. Rashawn Slater, 93 overall superstar left tackle, who's only 27. We could get George Kittle, Josh Hines. I don't want to do in-division trade. Sauce Gardner, a lockdown corner. Ooh, we could get Brock Bowers. They're willing to trade me Puka Nacua? I don't think the Rams would do that for the top pick. The Trey Hendrickson one is interesting. Devin Witherspoon, I really like. He's only 25, superstar dev. It does make sense that Seattle would trade up to try to get the quarterback. The Rams wanted Yancey, so I'm kind of nervous about trading for Puka. Or we could go with the Patriots and get Christian Gonzalez, who's a 96 overall. Seahawks are offering me a lot of picks here. Let me see what I can get pick-wise to go with Witherspoon. Also, they did take Hutchinson in free agency. They have Leonard Williams. They've got a lot here. So if we get 1, 2, 3, and a 1 and a 2 next year, along with Witherspoon, will you do this? It is close. If I give you one of my seconds and then both of my 7ths this year, will you do that? They're close. Let me take the 7th out because I don't think that's doing anything. And let me give you a 4th in 2028. Will you do that? They're close. I will throw in also a 6 and a 7th. They're not wanting to budge. Let me give them this extra. Let me give them a 3rd next year. Oh, it's so close. So close. All right, so we're going to trade the 1st overall pick to the New York Giants, along with one of our 7ths this year for a 1st and a 2nd this year and their 1st and 2nd next year. So we will now have the 6th pick here. So with that, we're going to go ahead and go to the NFL draft. Let's see who the Giants moved up to take with the number 1 overall pick. They will take quarterback Kyrie Armstead. Now with the 2nd pick, I think we go ahead and take the quarterback that we want just to make sure we get him, Dion Yancey. He's not a top 5 talent, but he's the guy we want. He's who we want to lead us moving forward. And so he is the 15th best player in this draft, 97 throw power, 76 speed, hidden dev trait. So that's the guy of the future. That's who we're going to be looking to use in the future. Now, we have the 5th pick now. And I am going to listen to offers here. So Browns are willing to give me their 1st and 2nd next year and their 5th next year. I don't really see anything I want, so I may try to make my own trade here. So the Chargers will give me Ladd McConkey for it. That's interesting. Cooper DeJean from the Eagles with a 4th round pick. Chris Olave. I'm going to take the Cooper DeJean. See if I can get maybe a bit of a higher pick back, like maybe their 2nd this year. And they did it. So we got, for the 5th pick, we got Cooper DeJean, one of the best corners in the league, 87 overall with superstar development. There's a left tackle. We're going to go ahead and pick our guy, Ryan Hoskins, who is the really good safety. Number 1 player in the draft. Figured it. 86 speed, 95 acceleration, 87 change of direction. This guy's going to be a beast at safety for us. Let's see what all picks do we have now. So now we've used these 2. We have 4 2nd rounders. I wonder if I could bundle a couple of those to move back into the end of the 1st. Actually, I think we got 2 in the top 6. Let's just go to the 2nd round and just start picking here because we have 4 2nd round picks here we can use. Now, the only guy we have here that's a sure round 1 talent is Tavon Johnston. D-tackle, not supposed to go till day 3, but I mean, we have tons of picks here. We might as well go ahead and get him. He is the 6th best player in the draft. We get him at 34. Only normal dev, but 94 strength. Some very good attributes here. I think that's a good pick for us. Now comes the interesting part, because we don't have guys that we're like 100% sure we know are 100% hits. Parker Duvall looks like a really good Mike linebacker, which is a position we could use some help at. Great strength, elite agility, great acceleration. Also has A play rec, A finesse moves, A awareness, B hit power, B zone, B tackle. This guy might be a stud. And 43rd ranked player in the draft. He does have hidden dev trait, 87 speed. So not a bad pick. Like, that's a 2nd rounder. You know, not a bad pick for the 2nd round. Trey Colon is here. He looks like a really good running back out of Boise State. Elite strength, decent speed. But I mean, A stiff arm, A truck, A to C awareness, A break tackle. I'm not sure how long he's going to last. Also, this tight end here, Darian Fisher, looks really good. Great speed, A short route, A awareness, B break tackle, B catching. Also, this corner, Jalen Hunt. Good speed, elite jumping, elite acceleration, A catching, B man, D press, F zone. Adonis Reese, though, has elite speed, elite jumping, elite acceleration, A spectacular catch, B deep route. He's here at my next one. I might pick him. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go... Vaughn Green looks like a really good right guard. A impact block, A lead block, B pass block. His pass block finesse might be very bad, though, and the run blocking looks pretty rough, so I don't know if I want to take him here yet. Derek Harding looks really, really good. He's not supposed to go till day 3, but I feel like he's going to be a great Mike linebacker as well. We already took a Mike linebacker, but honestly, you can't have too many linebackers, I feel. So I'm going to take him. He's the number 30 player. We get him in the 2nd round. Hidden dev. Let's go. And we have one more second round pick here. And yep, the running back I wanted is off the board. So Trey Cologne is gone. However, there are plenty of other guys we can still get, I think, that are very, very good. I'm going to take this tight end, Adonis Reese, 6'5". He has elite speed, elite jumping, elite acceleration. I think he's going to be a hell of an athlete. The question is, does he develop? He's number 42, hidden dev, 87 speed, 86 jump, 91 acceleration. Now, we are out of picks, I believe, until the 7th round, which I might use like a 3rd and a 6th, use some picks from down the road to move up into the 3rd round. Let's see if I can move up into the 4th round. I think I'm just going to go ahead and go to the 7th round. I think we've had probably the best draft we could have hoped for. If there's anyone left on my board of favorites, there are actually a couple here. There's this D tackle with really good strength. His attributes don't look good, though. There's a left guard here. Good strength, good speed. A readiness, A impact. Ooh, who are you? He's the number 38 best player, and we get him in the 7th round. Hidden dev trait. Greatest draft of all time. Greatest of all time. I am the GOAT. Thank you. I turned Grover Stewart into this. So I turned Grover Stewart into all of this. 85 overall strong safety, by the way, in the 1st round. Our quarterback's a 76 overall. Let's check out him a little bit. This is going to be our future starter with hidden dev, 97 throw power, 78 deep, 81 medium, 83 short accuracy, 81 break sack. I mean, he looks amazing. We're going to change that number, though. He's not wearing 19. I'm not going to have my starter wear 19. Ryan Hoskins, like I saw the archetype, I saw the ratings, and I knew this is what this guy was going to look like. 86 speed, 85 tackle, 95 acceleration, 99 hit power, 84 pursuit, 82 zone coverage, 81 play rec. Automatic starter, one of the best safeties in the entire league. Then we get Tavon Johnston, 77 overall D tackle. This was just a really deep draft class. 94 strength for him. He's got to work on the rest, but I mean, hey, I know he's only got normal dev, but he's 21 years old, so he's young, so he'll develop very well, I think. I mean, all of these guys were great picks for us. Let's look at Adonis Reese, the tight end. We're going to have Tyler Warren and Adonis Reese. Honestly, one of them might end up moving just to wide receiver. 87 speed, 76 catching, 91 acceleration, 79 catch in traffic, 80 spectacular catch. His route running needs to improve, and so does his blocking. But, I mean, that'll come with time. Let's check out the rest of the draft here real quick. So we did get the top player in the draft here. Alan Neal was a guard I was looking at, and I thought about taking him. Eric Doolittle, I don't think this guy was on my radar at all. Very good corner out of Boise State. Zone archetype. 94 speed, 94 acceleration, 75 man, 82 zone. Not bad, honestly. 79 overall. Only a normal dev trait, though. So that kind of hurts. By the way, the quarterback the Giants traded up with us for the number 1 pick for was a 74 overall. You have this other tight end, Jamar Harvey, 78 overall. Trey Cologne, I really thought about taking him. Like, I really thought if he'd have been available with that last 2nd round pick, I probably would have taken him over the tight end. Hidden dev trait, only 88 speed, but I mean, he's a beast. 86 truck, 90 stiff arm, 85 strength, 88 carrying. He's going to be a very good running back. I thought about bringing him in so we can kind of move on from JT soon, but it is what it is. Juwan Lucas was the corner I was looking at, 77 overall. Ooh, he only has normal dev trait. Interesting, but he does have 90 speed, 81 man, 92 agility, 89 jumping. He's pretty good too. But yeah, so I turned Grover Stewart and some of our future picks into this, plus Cooper DeJean, 86 overall superstar corner, by the way. That's why I didn't go with the corner in the draft. Awesome. That is just awesome. I do kind of want to see if there's any undrafted free agents that we could look at. I may do that before I hop off of here. Also, Daniel Carlson's here. So is Jerome Ford. There's a lot of good players still here. Undrafted free agent rookie, 70 overall, 91 speed. I think I'll bring him in. What's his dev trait look like? He might have hidden dev. No, only normal dev. Rookie out of Iowa, but that's okay. Here's a rookie, 89 speed, 22-year-old, 68 overall. He has star dev as a rookie, so we'll bring him in definitely. All right, I went and signed a bunch of undrafted free agents. None of them like huge outside of the one guy that had star dev, but that's going to do it for episode 1 of Colts Franchise, y'all. We We're awful, but we got a crap ton of draft picks, and this team is going to look a heck of a lot different this year with all of our new players, especially the new quarterback. Question now is, what do we do with Anthony Richardson? And how do we find all of these guys playing time as much as possible? But that is a question for episode 2, so I will see you guys in that one. Again, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next episode.